Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic if you didn't happen to be here. Perhaps it's time to meet your soul.
Aquarius's different perspective is not some eccentric trick, but a habit of multidimensional thinking. They see every situation as a problem with multiple solutions. What you call a limit, they treat as a starting line. Mistakes become data from an experiment, and what others label as strange is, for them, a clue to something new. Date an Aquarius and you'll see this play out in everyday life. If a trip gets canceled at the last minute, instead of getting frustrated, they'll turn it into a Plan B adventure along an unfamiliar route, treating the original plan like a rough draft ready for improvement. In debates, they don't stop at right versus wrong on a personal level. They'll ask, what system allowed this to happen? If I change one variable, how does the outcome shift? When giving gifts, they avoid the safe choice. It might be a weekend pottery class or a notebook labeled unusual ideas to encourage you to start writing. At work, a failed project isn't a dead end, but raw material for version 0. 1. A foundation built from lessons learned, ready to pivot quickly in a new direction. Walk alongside them and you'll be constantly invited to step outside your usual frame. Ask more questions, try a different recipe in the kitchen, reorganize your schedule, or even reconsider the way you measure your own worth. Their difference can feel overwhelming if you crave fixed order, but it's incredibly invigorating if you're open to curiosity and flexibility. The key is this: don't treat their questions as judgment. See them as invitations to broaden your view. If you dare to try, you'll discover many exits where before you only saw walls. The way they see you. Aquarius love often begins with quiet, perceptive observation. They have a way of seeing through the outer layers where most people stop, straight into the essence beneath. Where you see flaws, they notice the seeds of uniqueness. Where you try to hide scars, they see proof that you've lived, learned, and risen again. For example, you might feel embarrassed about failing at work, but to Aquarius, that failure is proof that you dared to try, that you were brave enough to step beyond your comfort zone. And that makes you more admirable, not less. When you scold yourself for being forgetful or clumsy, they'll simply smile and remind you. It's those very imperfections that make you real, approachable, and alive. Being with them feels like looking into a different kind of mirror, one that doesn't judge or highlight your shortcomings, but reflects back a stronger, more open version of yourself. Every word of encouragement, every look they give you, feels like a reminder that you can live more freely, express yourself more boldly, and accept yourself even in the moments that feel incomplete. This isn't blind optimism. It's a steady belief that human beings are always capable of growth. Loving an Aquarius teaches you to be gentler with yourself. You stop forcing yourself to be perfect all the time, and instead, learn to smile at your flaws and see them as essential parts of the journey. Their love doesn't arrive to fix you. It arrives to awaken the truth that you were already enough. And from that place of enoughness, you can grow freely and courageously. Unshakable optimism. Aquarius optimism is not shallow or naive. It's a conscious choice, forged after weathering many storms. They know life can be harsh, but instead of letting it drown them, they choose to keep a steady flame burning in their heart. That's why, where others see dead ends, they often find a way through. Where others see loss, they recognize the opportunity to begin again. For example, when a long-awaited trip gets canceled at the last minute, many would feel frustrated. Aquarius, however, will turn it into a chance to explore something new right where they are. In love, they won't promise you the traditional kind of stability. No carefully laid 10-year plan or rigid roadmap. What they bring instead is something far more precious: change. With them, standing still is nearly impossible. They will challenge you to question yourself, to try something you've never dared to try, to step beyond the boundaries you thought were fixed. And in that process, you grow, often without even realizing it. You may be surprised to notice that your own vision of life starts to shift. Less fear, less despair, more curiosity, and more hope. Because Aquarius doesn't just keep their optimism for themselves, they draw you into their light. They inspire not through empty promises, but through the way they live, through their steady conviction that tomorrow can always be brighter. And when you walk beside them, you, too, become a new version of yourself, more confident, more resilient, and more capable of keeping your own flame alive. The journey together. When you love an Aquarius, you can't keep a safe distance and just watch. They will draw you into their orbit, where life never repeats itself in predictable patterns. Every day with them feels like a new chapter of an unfolding adventure. One day you might be surprised by their rare tenderness, the next swept into a debate that seems endless. Yet beneath those seemingly opposite shades runs one steady current. They want you to walk beside them, not as a witness, but as a true companion. Love with Aquarius is not like a train running on fixed tracks and arriving on schedule. It's more like a road trip along a path no map has ever drawn. At times, you may feel lost, uncertain at unexpected turns. But soon you realize it's that very unpredictability that makes every moment feel alive. To them, love is not just sweet emotion, but a process of discovery, of the world, of each other, and most importantly, of yourself. Aquarius seeks a partner who can share not only the peaceful moments, but who is also brave enough to walk through the chaos. That's why they don't choose someone just to settle with, but someone to grow with. And when you're ready to embrace that rhythm, love with an Aquarius opens a new reality for you, one that is rich with inspiration, alive with surprises, and always pushing you to become a more expansive version of yourself. The journey of courage. Loving an Aquarius is always a test of courage. They don't offer you a predictable love where everything is neatly arranged and guaranteed. Instead, their love asks you to let go of the need to control, to learn how to live with surprises, and to accept that sometimes the only answer for tomorrow is not yet known. This uncertainty can feel unsettling, but it's also what teaches you flexibility and maturity. Once you step in fully, you'll discover that the reward for loving an Aquarius is more valuable than any sense of stability. A love filled with exploration and constant renewal. Every day becomes a lesson, an inner journey, a chance to expand the way you see yourself and the world. With them, you grow less afraid of making mistakes, less hesitant to try, and more willing to step boldly into experiences you've never had before. And when you look back, you'll realize you've changed, not only because their love is different, but because it awakened something hidden inside you. The courage to live authentically, the depth to truly understand yourself and others, and the vibrancy to treasure each moment. In the end, love with Aquarius is not a safe destination. It is a journey that transforms you into someone stronger, richer in experience, and freer than ever before. Loving an Aquarius is not for hearts that only crave safety. It asks you to step beyond the familiar, to embrace uncertainty, and to join them in a journey no one has ever mapped. But once you give your heart to an Aquarius, you'll realize there's nothing else like it. Their love may challenge you, even leave you bewildered at times, but it will surely make you grow, deepen, and come alive in ways you never imagined. Because in the end, loving an Aquarius is not just about loving a person. It's about accepting a lifelong adventure where you and they explore the world together, and more importantly, discover yourselves along the way.